The strings in today's video are provided by Diodario, the most consistent strings on planet Earth. Hey, how's it going, y'all? Brad the Guitologist here. In this video, we are going to unbox this Gibson Les Paul that has been dubbed now the Dumpster Paul. If you guys have been watching the channel for a long time, you probably know by now that about 7 or 8 years ago, I was doing the occasional dumpster dive into Guitar Center's dumpster, and I pulled all kinds of good stuff out of their dumpster at that point. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I got a fucking Marshall amplifier in the dumpster. I got a guitar stand. Also got this case. Everything you see on the floor here, including this microphone stand, was found in a dumpster. Here we are at this dumpster right here. Look. Oh my God. I mean, a lot of this is still garbage, but if you have an Ibanez though and you want your paperwork, there's where it ended up. I don't know why they would get rid of this. There's nothing even electronically or anything to go bad with this. These are the like Dunlop style Epiphone written on there. Strap locks. I guess they're starting to do that with their guitars, but somebody just tossed them out. The other end is probably attached to the guitar somewhere in the store. You know, you would go there kind of looking for boxes because I was buying and selling guitars online, so, in need of boxes such as this. They throw away a lot of good boxes, so I would go to their dumpster. I actually had permission from the manager at the time to go do that, to look in the dumpster and get boxes. But a lot of times you looked in the dumpster and it was like, holy crap, they're like throwing away all this hardware, they're throwing away all these cables, they're throwing away all this good stuff. I would grab it out of there, and sometimes I would film it. If it was particularly egregious, I'd be like, hey man, come on man. I'd be like, look, you can fix this piece of hardware. You can take a screw off of this other one that you threw away also, you know what I mean? And put that on that and you've got a good one, That kind of stuff bothered me at the time, so I made a string of videos, and they got the attention of a lot of people online, including some major publications started to question these practices as well. At one point, an employee of Guitar Center actually contacted me, and he said, hey man, if you go to Guitar Center's dumpster right now, I'm an employee, and I know for a fact that right now there's a Gibson Les Paul Gold top in the dumpster. And I thought, surely this guy's, he's full of it. They're trying to lure me back there so they can beat me up or something because they don't like my videos, you know what I mean? But I went back there later on, and sure enough, there was a gold top Les Paul, and I'll show you. Here's what it looked like. So I got this message on Thursday. It said if I searched hard enough, I could find the remnants of a gold top Les Paul in the dumpster at Guitar Center. And he came back and said, no, it's still salvageable if you go get it. So at that point, I'm thinking he must be serious. And he said, yeah, he's a fan of the channel, and he just thought I might have something cool to film. I go to Guitar Center. Here's what I find. I got a strange message from someone who said there might be something in there, like I think he said a Les Paul Gold top. Holy shit. That dude wasn't lying. Okay, this is the first time I actually jumped inside of a dumpster. Okay, so it's the next day now, and we'll get a little better look at the dumpster guitars and dumpster keyboard. This is that Luna, and this thing is pretty good and trashed. I could probably fix that, believe it or not, as bad as it looks. I think what's happening is they're actually watching my videos now, so they're doing a better job of destroying these things. Now, on to the big daddy here, the Gibson Les Paul Gold top. And it is a true blue Gibson, but they really did a number on this one. They didn't want anybody coming along and fixing, and by anybody, I mean me, coming along and digging this out and saying, ooh, I found a Gibson. Everybody go to the dumpsters. Call out the cavalry. Anyway, yeah, he did a number. He cracked this through here. But this actually, the body would be easily restorable. I mean, as bad as this looks, parts of this could be filled, sanded, filled, refinished. If you did a good enough job, nobody would ever know. They just destroyed this neck. Now I think all the pieces are here, so if I really wanted to do this, and I mean I would have to really want to do this, I could shoot this thing just chock full of glue, put it in some clamps, and hope for the best. I would probably also have to get creative, and you know, for the little bits that are the chunks that are out, get some filler and whip up some filler for those spaces, and then tape everything off and sand the neck down and refinish the neck or tongue oil it or something like that. And I could get this all back together and make I could actually make a playable guitar out of this. This might be something that we do. So I jokingly tell the guy, yeah man, you weren't kidding, somebody got crowbar happy, and he says, yes, his manager destroys things. And I come back to him just interested to know what was the original problem with it. Did it have a headstock break, which was what I suspected it might have had, was a usual Les Paul headstock break. But then this part is kind of what shocked me about this whole thing. He said he thought it was an inventory issue, that it was in perfect shape before it got destroyed. Perfect shape before it got destroyed. So, you know, clearly you just don't know what to say about something like that. That when you think, okay, well, there must have been a good reason they threw it away. Well, the employee said, no, there really wasn't a great reason, because it was some kind of inventory issue. And, you know, I did talk to the manager at Guitar Center later on in a separate video, calling for another reason to get his comment on a story, and we happened to talk about that Les Paul briefly. I'll put that here.
There's been no policy change for repairs or returns.
Okay.
I just, you know, there's a lot that goes into that you don't know, and you make us look stupid, and I really don't appreciate it. I wouldn't do something like that to somebody I don't even know and say, oh, look how stupid they are throwing this stuff away. You know, we all work real hard here, and yeah, I don't appreciate you making us look stupid.
Well, I think on a couple...
I appreciate you calling so I could tell you personally, but...
No, sure. So anyway, that's the full story of this Les Paul. Whoa. Okay, so that's not quite the full story. After all these videos were shot, I was able to donate all of the money that I made on those Les Paul videos to a children's charity hospital here in my town, and also my daughter's music program. So some good did come of this thing, ended up in the dumpster after all. If we look at the graph for that particular video, we'll see here that I ended up making around $725 in total. But the drum equipment that I decided to buy, I got from this website, and this was the cheapest I found this particular equipment, and ended up spending about $335 or thereabouts on that stuff. So that leaves us almost $400 for Cosair's Children's Hospital. Just to say thank you to Guitar Center once again for being wasteful and throwing the guitar away. It did end up going to good use, and I guess thanks also to Gibson for telling them to throw it away, or whatever the deal was there, which I thought was absolutely absurd. I still think is absolutely absurd. I don't care how you spin it. I've seen some videos of other people reacting to it and so forth, to my video, which actually ended up being my third most viewed video so far. So it sat around for, you know, 7 or 8 years until recently. I was going to have Big D, Derek at Big D Guitars, which is a great channel. You should go check his channel out, support him. He was gonna actually fix this guitar for me at one point. Heck, I was gonna fix this guitar at one point. It sat in a case for a long time with that in mind, that eventually I would get around to it. Derek at Big D said he wanted to take on the project, so I thought, okay, I'll just let Big D do it. Well, he actually came to town at one point, and we couldn't hook up. Our schedules just didn't align, and he ended up having to go back to Chicago. And I happened to mention it to my friend Sean a little while later, and he said, you know what, I want to fix that guitar. Why don't you send it to me, and I'll fix it.
Yeah, we have a good old time in the live videos. I appreciate all y'all that hang out. Yeah, if you're one of them guys that hang out, you already know Brad the Guitologist popped in. All of us talked him into sending me that Gibson Les Paul he found in the dumpster at Guitar Center. That's right, he found it in the dumpster at Guitar Center.
So definitely go over and watch his entire series on this before you watch this video. I highly recommend it. But now we're gonna open the actual guitar. I'm really excited. So he's got a couple of boxes in here. Oh, okay, this is a mug. He has sent me a mug, and it looks like a koozie. Okay, so that's a koozie. That's the actual guitar that he has sent me back with a picture of it on a koozie. Now, we had some discussions about what to put on the headstock. At first, I was all about, you know, see if you can restore the Gibson headstock, you know, just see if you can restore it the way it would have been. The neck was too shattered. Come to find out, it was just too far gone. It made more sense to rebuild the neck, which Sean did a great job at. But the headstock, we had a long discussion about that. I told him, I was like, look, this is going to be as much a scarred guitar as it ever was a Gibson. The thing is, Gibson threw it away. It's like, you know, somebody threw away their dumpster baby or something, you know what I mean? You know, and that's kind of the sad way that this felt. Like, this guitar never had a chance to rock. It just got to GC. It should have gone into somebody's hands that could have and should have loved it, but it never had that chance, and it was just discarded like a piece of junk. So I was like, you know what? I think Gibson has lost the right to claim this guitar. Don't put Gibson on that headstock. All this hullabaloo's made about American made and stuff, but well, if you don't have any pride though, if everything's gone completely corporate and cold, which I think Gibson is these days, I just don't care. I don't want that crap on my headstock. So I was like, you make it a scarred guitar and you put whatever the hell you want on the headstock. He has also sent me a mug with my Guitologist logo on there, which is really cool. I actually also sell those. If you want a Guitologist mug like this, I do sell those. I never push them, but they are there. If you want to look down in the description, there's a link down there under how to support the channel. You can get that logo on t-shirts and hoodies and whatever you want. Oh yeah, the other box, okay. So I think I might know what's in this also. Hang on, I have to make a wardrobe change first.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage.
Okay, that's more like it. This is my Play Authentic Pimpin' Ain't Easy Gibson headstock. Gold chain, baby. Gold chains. I told Sean, I was like, I always thought that rappers in videos, you know, with those huge gold chains, I always thought they just looked ridiculous and dumb as hell. But if you really think about it, I think that at least at one point in time, the limit for the amount of money you could take out of the country was like $10,000. So if you had like 2 or 3 of these big ass gold chains, you know, I mean, you could get maybe $100,000 around your neck out of the country. So not quite as stupid as we thought they were, right? That's funny. I don't see Play Authentic anywhere on this. I think they have scrubbed that possibly from their motto. Is it in one? It's in one piece, baby. Oh my God, it's in one piece. And it looks good. I mean, it ain't perfect. I can tell you it ain't perfect already, but it's not. It sure as shit wasn't perfect when I sent it. Yeah, he's put these Seymour Duncans in here. It looks good, man. It's a good looking guitar. I mean, in scarred guitar fashion, you know, it's not a perfectly finished instrument, but he's always admitted he's not great at finishes anyway, so it wears what it is on its sleeve. It's loud and proud. It's not trying to hide what it is. It is what it is. It is a dumpster Les Paul, and I couldn't be happier with it. Thank you so much, Sean. Okay, guys, so at this point, it's time to start customizing this guitar to my personal taste, putting my own stamp on it, if you will. So to that end, I replaced the plastic truss rod cover with a nickel silver custom engraved one that was sent to me by Nate DeMont of Monoplaque. This was originally a larger size, so I had to cut it down to fit with my metal shears. I'll put a link to Monoplaque's website in the description. Sean did all the clear coating in polyurethane, so to get a little more natural, sleeker feel on the neck, I also ended up sanding down the back of the neck and refinishing that in gun oil. I have a tendency to play hard sometimes, and I tend to pull strings off the top side of the neck if the strings are too slinky. Sean strung this with 9s, so I ended up resetting it up with 10s and tweaked the nut slot and the intonation accordingly. The pots were a bit stiff from the factory, so I lubed those up with some electronics lube and replaced the knurled metal knobs with some gold speed knobs, which I thought looked a little better and were easier to use. I also fitted some back cavity covers and a black pick guard I got from Temu. I had to order the pick guard bracket elsewhere because Temu doesn't have those for whatever reason. And I also changed the switch tip from a chrome metal one supplied by Sean to a cream plastic. With all that black from the pick guard and all the metal elsewhere, I thought it was nice to splash a little bit of cream on that tip. I do enjoy splashing a little bit of cream on the tip. But seriously, with those black and cream mixed race pickup bobbins, I think this thing is ready for a TV commercial. So without further ado, let's jam.
I'll be honest, fellas, it was sounding great, but I could have used a little more cowbell.
Okay, guys, that'll do it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed the show. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing and supporting the channel through one of the links in the pinned comment. But for now, we'll see y'all later.